Good morning everyone and welcome again to Green Hobby. Siguro kakaiba yung content natin ngayon, no? Kasi usually we talk about plants dito sa Green Hobby, but now we will be talking about Typhoon Odette. As you all know, karamihan sa mga content ko na ginawa for this whole series, no, is about Bacolod and Negros Occidental. And alam nyo naman na ang Negros Occidental ay isa sa mga badly hit and devastated ng Bagyong Odette. So, meron akong cue ngayon just to make sure na talagang lahat ng sasabihin ko ay facts. And we will also interview some of those youth organization, young people that are doing volunteer and relief operations in the badly hit areas. Mga base sila dito sa Bacolod, pero talagang they've been doing a lot of work for those areas affected by Typhoon Odette. So, just to put straight all the facts, on December 15, 2021, Typhoon Odette brought heavy rains, violent winds, and landfalls and storm surges. It made landfalls sa Surigao del Norte, Dinagat Islands, ito lahat sa Mindanao, in 5 provinces and Visayas, and in the island of Palawan in Luzon, before siya nag-exit noong December 17 sa Philippine Area of Responsibility. According to NDRRMC, a total of 334 cities and municipalities in Mimaropa, Western Visayas, Eastern Visayas, and Caraga had declared a state of calamity. And ito yung pinakamatindi sa lahat, specifically sa Negros Occidental, no? 57,000 families in Negros Occidental spent Christmas Eve homeless. Wala silang bahay dahil talagang tinamaan sila ng bagyo. And yung mostly affected area sa Negros Occidental is Kabankalan and Sipalay cities. So karamihan sa mai-interview natin actually are those that are doing volunteer works in the southern part of Negros, specifically Kabankalan and Sipalay cities. And now, we will also be interviewing them and look at ano ba yung mga donation drive na ginagawa nila.
Hello, so I'm Richelle, the chairperson of the Board of Trustees of Sowing Legacy Movement Incorporated, and with me is Charles Manga, the Executive Director of Sowing Legacy Movement. So SLM, or Sowing Legacy Movement, is actually a volunteer-based organization which we founded with our friends in 2013. However, we were only able to call it as SLMI years after. So we started with asking our friends to donate school supplies in Southern Negros. That's why Southern Negros is really a very important place for us. At the same time, since we have seen that the impact of that call for donation has been responded well, we decided to make it more sustainable. That's why we launched our Pledge 30 campaign to offer scholarship programs. And that our first set of scholars are actually children laborers. And then later on, the program evolved into having other kinds of students.
Yes, and Sowing Legacy Movement Inc. has evolved not only as an organization who provides scholarship program, but we also became one of the organizations who train future leaders here in our country, as well as here in Negros Occidental, through our different camps, legacy camps, which we had already 7 batches. No? So this legacy camp trains students to youth actually to be leaders, no, not just leaders, but leaders with advocacy and with the goal to create impact to their society.
Yes, and aside from that, especially during the pandemic, we responded to the needs of the people in the community. So here in Negros Occidental, Sowing Legacy Movement is actually one of the first organizations that had responded to the needs of those depressed areas or communities here. And each time there is calamity, it's already very natural for us to help as well in calling for help. And ginagawa namin yon hindi lamang dito sa Negros Occidental but sa buong bansa. That's why when the Super Typhoon Odette hit the southern Negros, we also responded and called for help. And we have already conducted 3 rounds of distribution of food packs and water in the affected areas. But we have seen na grabe yung impact ng calamity. That's why kulang na kulang pa rin talaga yung help. And at the same time, there are still a lot of other areas na hindi pa napupuntahan.
Yes, no. So although our call for donation started early, even just after the typhoon has hit the southern Negros, when we went to the area to where the typhoon really struck hard, we found it sad to see that there are a lot of people who lost their homes, who we even heard that some people lost their loved ones. And because of the disaster, because of the typhoon, a lot of people in the community are outside waiting for others to help them. It's a reflection of the reality that some of us are not prepared in case of calamities would hit. So it's really important for us, community leaders, as well as non-government organizations, to work hand in hand with the government organizations to provide help to our fellow Filipinos, especially to our fellow Negrosanons, as what we have mentioned a while ago, that the southern Negros is really close to our heart.
And aside from that, marami pa ring areas yung walang electricity and walang water. And our organization is also looking into long-term na mga projects, one of which is of course helping those who are really in need of support para makapagpatayo ulit ng bahay. Kaya naman tuloy-tuloy po ang aming panawagan sa mga donations.
Even yung organization namin, no, is affected by the typhoon kasi some of our scholars lost their homes. Now we went to their homes and we saw that how damaged their homes are. So it's one of our goal to rehabilitate their homes, to provide them with a decent place to live in after this typhoon. And of course, we have seen how important working together and how important it is for us people to respond in the needs of others, especially if we have the capacity. So with that, Sowing Legacy Movement Inc. is still accepting donations, not just for food packs, but also for long-term projects such as building homes for some of our affected scholars.
Yes, and you may drop your donations here in Legacy Home. So this home is actually one of the projects we have started at the start of the pandemic, since most of our scholars shared to us na they struggled, especially in their internet connection. That's why we built this place, and at the same time, this is also a social enterprise for us, since we are also utilizing this place as Legacy Cafe. So Legacy Home is situated in Barangay 27 in Bacolod City.
You could also reach us through our page, Sowing Legacy Movement Inc., or on our personal accounts, Charles Manga and Richel Verdeprado Manga in Facebook, for your donations. And you could also send your donations through GCash with the number
0917-880-8480.
Thank you so much, and we hope that our call for donation would not end in this endeavor, but it's a continuous program. So let's help one another, and let's always remember that no matter how big or how small our help is, it would go long. It would go big and long if it's grouped together. The same as with how our advocacy started with the Pledge 30 program.
Hello everyone, I am Elmer Meeynard Calimpos. I am from Bacolod City, Negros Occidental, and currently I am the Executive Director and one of the co-founders of the organization called Children Optimization for the Revitalization of Environment. So basically, this organization is an environmental movement and environmental organization. Its primary vision is that Philippines creating more communities of environmentally conscious children in action. So basically, it's just started in 2018 when we visited one of the most vulnerable communities here in Bacolod City. So it was Purok Crossing Otso in Barangay Tangub. So when we visited this community, we saw children swimming in a degraded ocean, competing for trash just to earn a small amount of money. And it really broke our heart. And that is the reason why we created our flagship project, the Ecological Saturdays Initiative, in response to creating programs for the children, because we believe that it is better to build up a child than it is to repair an adult. So our primary beneficiaries are actually aging 9 to 12 years old, and they are actually they have programs every Saturday in which we are giving them inspirations and lectures about the environment, climate change. It is connected with our cause as of this moment because of the unprecedented event happened in our in the Negros Occidental, specifically in the Southern Negros. So it was December 16 of this year. It was actually we ended the year so hard and so difficult, and we also started the year in January 1st in the Northern Negros that a lot of people had suffered because of tremendous floodings. And on December 16, 2021 of the evening, our brothers and sisters in Southern Negros experienced tremendous floodings, strong winds, and numerous of people died and have lost their loved ones because of the impact and adverse effects of the Super Typhoon Odette. So basically, one of the saddening experience that I had when we went in Southern Negros, it was my first time to visit the Barangay Inapoy in the Kabankalan. Aside from the fact that the stories are isolated and the stories cannot be told because of the area that they have right now. Malayo po sila sa syudad, malayo po sila sa poblasyon, given the fact na most of the communities na talagang nirespondehan are actually communities from the poblasyon. That's why we actually went in barangay one of the far-flung areas in Kabankalan, in Apoy, in order to see the situations and at the same time to give food packs to the community people who are affected by the Super Typhoon Odette. So because of that, my friends and I, the Children Optimization for the Revitalization of Environment, together with other local organizations here in Negros Occidental, we created this movement, Bangon Negrosanon Movement. So Bangon Negrosanon Movement started in January 2021 last year, and we decided to continue this movement when the Super Typhoon Odette hit Negros Occidental and other parts of Negros Island. So basically, it is composed of different organizations here in Negros Occidental and Negros Island. And what we did was, after the Super Typhoon Odette hit our province, we decided to come up with a donation drive and relief operations. And it is not just a mere relief operations, but we decided to make it more holistic. So it's like a holistic rehabilitation for the children, for the youth and the parents. We saw the need of the people first and foremost because they don't have access of food, water, clothing. So the first wave that we had was last December 25. So after we gathered all the donations, we went one of the far-flung communities in Negros Occidental, which is the Candoni. It's actually a landlocked area. It's located in the heart of Negros Occidental, and we decided to go there because hindi po sila naaabutan ng mga tulong from the non-government organizations. So given that the support of the government is limited, our organization or our movement decided to visit their place. And aside from one community na binisita namin sa Candoni, we decided to roam around and to go around the municipality to see the situations, and we were able to give food packs to different Minoro. Minoro is actually a small community. It's a Hiligaynon term in which we believe it is very important kasi most of the help or most of the relief operations ay nasa poblasyon lamang. And when we went there, we have seen a lot of Minoro and small communities. And that is actually one of our primary goals, to reach the unreachable. And aside from that, we are right now gathering donations, specifically toys, no? Toys in which our advocacy is really on that, because we are empowering children, and we have seen the problem that our children is experiencing right now. It's actually a trauma for the children. That is why, aside from the relief operations that we had, we have decided to gather toys so that when we go back in these areas, we can be able to create not just a mere dole-out activity, but to create programs for the children, maybe an overnight. And that is the reason why this is also a call for everyone who is watching right now. I hope that you will be able to feel the struggles and the pains that my fellow Negrosanons are experiencing because of the Super Typhoon Odette. And through your help, through your donations, we can be able to reach more communities, specifically far-flung communities in the boundaries, the landlocked towns, municipalities, and Negros Occidental. Kasi alam naman natin na marami na talagang tulong sa ibang mga places and locations. And I hope that you will also be able to help us by giving your toys to our children, because when we go in the community sooner, when we have already these donations, specifically the toys, we will create enjoyable and fun programs for these children, so that maybe isang araw lang magiging masaya sila dahil we were able to visit these communities and these children. And in order for you to donate more in our cause, in the Bangon Negrosanon movement, please visit our page, the Children Optimization for the Revitalization Environment. And right now, we have our pinned post over there, and you will be able to see how to give through our donation channels. We have our BPI, we have our BDO account, and GCash, 0977-414-8327. And at the same time, if you cannot be able to really donate directly, and if you want to ask more questions and clarifications regarding our donation drive and relief operations, feel free to message our Facebook page, no, the Children Optimization for the Revitalization of Environment, or you can also contact us through phone number 0998 458-5427 or 0977-414-8327. So once again, this is not just a battle of the present, but this is a battle of the future. I hope that as watchers or as audience, it's not just about the present, that we see a lot of people suffering because of the Super Typhoon Odette, but this is also an opportunity for us to take climate change and climate crisis seriously, because this is not just a mere disaster issue, but this is a relationship between climate change and disasters. I hope that the universe will realize that the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who just watch them without doing anything. So thank you so much, and padayon.